Paul McCartney recently shed light on the creative techniques the Beatles used both on stage and in the studio, approaches that helped set them apart from other artists of their time. For decades, fans and music analysts have explored what made the Beatles such a revolutionary force in the 1960s. What was it that elevated them to become one of the most legendary rock and roll bands in history? According to McCartney, their true strength lay in their ability to think differently and push creative boundaries at every opportunity. During live performances, the band employed a clever strategy by incorporating obscure cover songs into their sets. These less familiar tracks elevated their shows and created an air of mystery. Audiences often couldn't tell whether the songs were originals or covers, which made their performances stand out from the rest. But as the band shifted their focus from touring to recording in the mid-1960s, they found new ways to innovate in the studio. Having already earned massive popularity and chart success through the Lennon-McCartney songwriting partnership, alongside George Harrison's melodic guitar work and Ringo Starr's effortlessly tight drumming, the Beatles started exploring new sonic possibilities. In a 1990 interview with Guitar Player, McCartney elaborated on how, in the early days, their set list stood out because they featured lesser-known songs. These choices gave them an edge, distinguishing them from other bands who stuck to familiar hits. As their live performances tapered off, the Beatles began spending more time experimenting in the studio. Though they initially followed producer George Martin's guidance closely, by 1965, they were increasingly interested in breaking rules and trying bold new things. This creative shift led to groundbreaking sounds on albums like Revolver 1966 and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band 1967. McCartney emphasized that part of their edge came from the technology of the time. They treated analog recording equipment, like tape machines and mixing consoles, as instruments in their own right. Unlike today's digital gear, which is designed to prevent user error, the analog machines of the 1960s could be pushed to their limits. This allowed for intentional distortion and unexpected sonic textures. He reflected on how the older recording desks were more susceptible to being overloaded, which gave the band a chance to discover interesting and surprising sounds. Modern consoles, he noted, are engineered to be nearly foolproof, removing some of the raw creativity that came from pushing old equipment to its breaking point. One example McCartney shared was the recording of Obla Di, Obla Da, where he played an acoustic guitar line an octave above the bass. This technique, he explained, created a full, resonant sound similar to two singers harmonizing in octaves, reinforcing the bass and enriching the overall texture. Ultimately, the Beatles succeeded because they were willing to explore unusual methods and embrace unpredictability. Through a combination of bold live set lists and fearless experimentation in the studio, they gave their audience fresh and unexpected musical experiences that helped define an era